Hello everybody! So I'm going to read this 4-page PDF that's on Games Workshop sites. Link below if you want to read along, or yeah, you can click stop now because yeah, I know it's terrible reading from yeah, English is difficult. Alright, so enjoy! Hello everybody! So Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Warhammer Age of Sigmar puts you in command of a force of mighty warriors, monsters and war engines. This rules sheet contains everything you need to know in order to battle amid strange and sorcerous realms, to unleash the powerful magic, darken the skies with arrows and crush your enemies in bloody combat. So yeah, let's dive into this. Let's see. The armies. Before the conflict begins, real warlords gather their most powerful warriors. In order to play, you must first muster your army from the miniatures in your collection. Armies can be as big as you like, and you can use as many models from your collection as you wish. The more units you decide to use, the longer the game will last and the more exciting it will be. Typically, a game with around 100 miniatures per side will last about an evening. So buckle up if you have put on a lot of miniatures. So let's just read everything, and you can make videos and put a link below if you want, or just comment what I'm reading. So let's go on. War scrolls and units. All models are described by war scrolls, which provide all the rules for using them in the game. You will need war scrolls for the models you want to use. These are free PDFs, so you just go on the website of Games Workshop and you will get Britannia, and war scrolls look like this for everybody. So yeah, let's move on. Models fight in units. A unit can have one or more models, but cannot include models that use different war scrolls. A unit must be set up and finish any sort of move as a single group of models, with all models within 1 inch of the last one other model from their unit. If anything causes a unit to become split during a battle, it must reform the next time that it moves. Tools of war. In order to fight a battle, you will require a tape measure and some dice. Distance in Warhammer Age of Sigmar are measured in inches. Between the closest points of the model or units you are measuring to and from. You can measure distance whenever you wish. A model's base isn't considered part of the model. It's just there to help the model stand up. So don't include it when measuring distances. Warhammer Age of Sigmar uses 6-sided dice, sometimes equivalent to d6. If rule requires you to roll a d3, roll a dice and half the total, rolling fractions up. Some rules allow you to re-roll a dice roll, which means you can roll some or all of the dice again. You can never re-roll a dice more than once, and a re-roll happens before modifiers to the roll, if any are applied. The battlefield. By the pillars of flame and altar of brass of the haunted ruins, the realms are filled with strange sights and deadly obstacles. Battles in Warhammer Age of Sigmar are fought across an infinite variety of exciting landscapes in the mortal realms. From desolated volcanic plains to treacherous sky temples to lush jungles and Cyclopean ruins, the dominion of chaos is all prevailing, and no land is left untouched by the blight of war. This widely fantastical landscape are recreated whenever you play a game of Warhammer Age of Sigmar. The table and scenery you use constitute your battlefield. A battlefield can be any flat surface upon which the models can stand, for example a dining table or the floor, and can be any size and shape provided it's bigger than 3 feet square. That's new. First you should decide in which of the 7 mortal realms the battle will take place. For example, you might decide that your battle will take place in the realm of fire. Sometimes you will need to know this in order to use certain abilities. You can't agree on the realm, roll a dice, and whoever rolls higher decides. The best battles are fought over lavishly designed and constructed landscapes, but whether you have a lot of scenery or only a small number of features doesn't matter. A good guide is at least 1 feature for every 2 foot square, but less is okay and more can make a really interesting battle. To help you decide the placement of your scenery, you can choose to roll 2 dice and then add them together for each 2 square area you battle with. Consult the following table. Roll 2-3, no terrain features. 4-5, 2 terrain features. 6-8, 1 terrain feature. 9-10, 2 terrain features. And 11-12, choose 0 to 3 terrain features. Mysterious landscapes. The landscape of the mortal realm can both aid and hinder your warriors. Unless stated otherwise, a model can move across scenery but not through it. So you can't move through a solid wall or pass through a tree, but can choose to have a model climb up and over them. In addition, you can, once you have set up all your scenery, either roll a dice on the following table or pick a rule for each terrain feature. So here you have some terrain features, the scenery table. Roll scenery. 1. Damned. If one of your units are within 3 inches of this terrain feature in your hero phase, you can declare that one of making a sacrifice. If you do so, the unit suffers D3 mortal wounds, but you can add 1 to all hit rolls for the unit into the next hero phase. 2. Arcane. Add 1 to result of any casting or unbending rolls made by a wizard within 3 inches of this terrain feature. 3. Inspiring. Add 1 to the bravery of all units within 3 inches of this terrain feature. 4. Deadly. Roll a dice for any model that makes a run or charge move across or finish on this terrain feature. On a roll of 1, the model is slain. 5. Mystical. Roll a dice in your hero phase for each of your units within 3 inches of this terrain feature. Roll a 1 for unit is befuddled and can't select to cast a spell, move or attack until your next hero phase. On a roll of 2-6, the unit are enscrolled and you can reroll fail wounds rolls for the unit until your next hero phase. And 6. Sinister. Any of your unit that are within 3 inches of this terrain feature in your hero phase causes fear until your next hero phase. Subtract 1 from the bravery for any enemy unit that is within 3 inches of one of more of the units that causes fear. Let's turn the page. The battle begins. Thunder rumbles high above as the armies take to the battlefield. You are now ready for the battle to begin, but before it does, you must set up your armies for the coming conflict. Set up. Before setting up their armies, both players roll a dice, rolling again in the case of a tie. The player that rolls higher must divide the battlefield into 2 equal-sized halves. Their opponent then picks 1 half to be their territory. Some examples of shown below. There and there and there there and there there. So yeah. So you can see nicely grid here. The players then alternate setting up units, 1 at a time, starting with the player that won the earlier dice roll. Models must be set up in their own territory, more than 12 inches from enemy territory. So no touchy there. You can continue setting up units until you have set up all units you want to fight in this battle, or have run out of space. This is your army. Count the number of models in your army. This may come in useful later. Any remaining units are held in reserve, playing no part unless fate lends a hand. The opposing player then continue to set up units. When they have finished, setup is complete. The player that finished setting up first always chooses who takes the first turn in the first battle round. The General. Once you have finished setting up all of your units, nominate one of the models as set up as your General. Your General has a command ability, as described in the rules for the hero phase opposite. So this is quite important. You have to have a guy that do command stuff. So command ability, King Lewin has to be in the case of Britannia. Glorious victory. In Immortal Realms, battles are brutal and uncompromising. They are fought to the bitter end, with one side able to claim victory because it has destroyed its foe or there are no enemy models left on the field of battle. The victor can immediately claim a major victory and the honors and triumphs that are due to them, while the defeated must repair to their lair to lick their bones and bear the shame of failure. If it has not been possible to fight the battle to the conclusion, or the outcome has not obvious, the result of the sort can be calculated by comparing the number of models removed from play with the number of models originally set up in the battle for each army. Expressing these as percentage provides a simple way of determining the winner. Such a victory can only be claimed as minor victory. For example, if one player lost 75% of their starting models and their other player lost 50% of then the player that only have lost 50% of their models could claim a minor victory. Alright? Models added to your army during the game, for example through summoning, reinforcement, reincarnation and so on, do not count towards the number of models of the army, but must be counted among the casualties an army suffers. Sudden death victories. Sometimes a player may attempt to achieve a sudden death victory. If one army is a third more model than the other, the outnumbered player can choose one of objective from the sudden death table after generals are nominated. A major victory can be claimed immediately when the objective is achieved by the outnumbered player. Triumphs. After the sudden death objectives have been chosen, if your army won a major victory in previous battle, roll a dice and look up the result of the triumph table at the right. Alright. So, sudden death table. Assassinate. The enemy player picks a unit with a hero, wizard, priest or monster keyword in their army. Slay that unit they pick. And you can see keywords are here, and this one has hero. Blunt. The enemy player picks a unit with 5 or more models in their army. Slay the unit that they pick. Endure. Have at least one model which started the battle on the battlefield still in play at the end of the 6 battle rounds. Seize ground. Pick one terrain feature in an enemy territory. Have at least one friendly model within 3 inches of that feature at the end of the 4th battle round. So you can see here you can have some interesting battles if you have fewer miniatures than your opponent. Let's go on. The triumph table. Roll for triumph. 1 to 2, blessed. You can change the result of a single dice for the result of your choosing once during the battle. 3-4, inspired. You can re-roll all of the failed hits rolls for one unit in your army in one combat phase. 5-6, empowered. Add 1 to your general's wounds characteristics. Battle rounds. Mighty armies crash together amid the spray of blood and the crackle of magic. Warhammer Age of Sigmar is played in a series of battle rounds, each is which are split into 2 turns, one for each player. At the start of each battle round, both players roll a dice, rolling again in case of tie. The player that rolls the highest dice then takes the first turn of the battle round, decides who takes the first turn. Each turn consists of the following phase. 1. Hero phase. Cast spells and use heroic abilities. 2. Movement phase. Move units across the battlefield. 3. Shooting phase. Attack with missile weapons. 5. Charge phase. Charge units into battle. 5. Combat phase. Pile in and attack with the melee weapons. 6. Battle shock phase. Test the bravery of depleted units. Once the first players have finished their turn, the second player takes theirs. Once the second player has also finished, the battle round is over and a new one begins. Pre-battle abilities. Some war scrolls allow you to use an ability after setup is complete. These abilities are used before the first battle round. If both armies have abilities like this, both players roll a dice, re-rolling in case of tie. The player that rolls highest gets to use their abilities first, followed by their opponent. Hero phase. As the armies close in, their leaders use sorceress abilities, make sacrifices to the gods, or give stride commands. If your hero phase, you can use the wizard in your army to cast spells. See the rules for wizard on the last page of these rules. In addition, other units in your army may have abilities on their war scrolls that can be used at the hero phase. Generally, they can only be used in your own hero phase. However, if ability says that it can use in every hero phase, then it can be used in your opponent's hero phase as well as your own. If both players can use abilities in the hero phase, the player whose turn it is gets to use all of their first. Command ability. If your hero phase, you can general can use one command ability. All generals have the inspiring presence command ability, and some may have more on their war scroll. Inspiring presence. Pick a unit from your army that is within 12 inches of your general. The unit that you pick does not have to make battle shock test into your next hero phase. Movement phase. The ground shakes to the tread of the marching feet as the army vie for precision. Start your movement phase by picking one of your units and moving each model into that unit until you have moved all the models you can want to. You can then pick another unit to move until you have moved as many of your unit as you wish. No model can be moved more than once in each movement phase. Moving. A model can move in any direction to a distance in inches equal or less to the move characteristic on the wall scroll. It can be moved vertically in order to climb across scenery, but cannot move across other models. No part of the model may move further than the model's move characteristics. Enemy models. When you move a model in the movement phase, you may not move within 3 inches of any enemy models. Models from your army are friendly models, and models from the opposing army are enemy models. Units starting the moving phase within 3 inches of enemy unit can either remain stationary or retreat. If you choose to retreat, the unit must end its move more than 3 inches away from the enemy unit. If a unit retreats, then it can't shoot or charge later that turn. See below. Running. When you pick a unit to move in a movement phase, you can declare that it will run. Roll a dice and add the result to the move characteristic. All models of the unit for the movement phase. A unit that runs can't shoot or charge later that turn. Flying. If the war scroll for the model says that the model can fly, it can pass across models and scenery as they were not there. It still may not finish the move within 3 inches of enemy in the movement phase, and it it's already within 3 inches of enemy, it can only retreat or remain stationary. Shooting. A storm of death breaks from the battle. Arrows fall like rain, and war machines hurl their deadly payloads. In your shooting phase, you can shoot with models armed with the missile weapons. Pick one of your unit. You may not pick a unit that run or retreat this turn. Each model that in that unit attacks with all of the missile weapons it is armed with. See attacking. After all the models in the unit have shot, you can choose another unit to shoot with, until all units that can shoot have done so. Charge phase. Howling, blood-crawling war cries. Warriors hurl themselves into battle to slay with blade, hammer and claw. Any of your units within 12 inches of the enemy in your charge phase can make a charged move. Pick an enlightened unit and roll 2 dice. Each model in the unit can move this number in inches. You may not pick a unit that run or retreat this turn, nor one that is within 3 inches of the enemy. The first model you move must finish within half an inch of an enemy model. If that is impossible, the charge has failed, and no models in the charge unit can move in this phase. Once you move all the models in the unit, you can pick another enlightened unit to make a charge, until all units that can charge have done so. Combat phase. Carnage engulfs the battlefield that the warring armies tear each other apart. Any unit that has charged or has models that is within 3 inches of enemy unit can attack with its melee weapon in the combat phase. The player whose turn it is to pick a unit to attack with, then the opposing player must attack with a unit, and so on until all aligned units on both sides have attacked once each. If one side completes all its attacks first, then the other side completes all its remaining attacks, one unit after another. No unit can be selected to attack more than once each combat phase. An attack is split into 2 steps. First, the unit piles in. Then you make more attacks with the models in the unit. Step 1. When you pile in, you may move each model in the unit up to 3 inches toward the closest enemy model. Step 2. Each model in the unit attacks with all of the melee weapons if it's armed with C attacking. Battle shock phase. Even the bravest heart may quail when the horrors of battle takes their toll. In the battle shock phase, both players must take battle shock test for units from their army that have had models slain during the turn. The players whose turn it is test first. To make the battle shock test, roll a dice and add the number of models from the units that have been slain to this turn. For each point by which the total exceed the highest bravery characteristics in a unit, one model in the unit must flee and is removed from play. Add 1 to the bravery characteristics being used for every 10 models that are in the unit when the test is taken. You must choose which models flee from the units you command. So guys, last page. Attacking. Blows hammer down upon the foe. Inflict bloody wounds. When a unit's attack, you must first pick the target unit for the attacks that the models in the unit will make. Then make all of the attacks that finally inflict any resulting damage on the target units. The number of attacks a model can make is determined by the weapons that it's armed with. The weapon options of the models are listed in the description on its war scroll. Missile weapons can be used in the shooting phase, and a melee weapon can be used in the combat phase. The number of attacks a model can make is equal to the attacks characteristic for the weapons it can use. Picking targets. First, you must pick the target unit for the attack. In order to attack an enemy unit, an enemy model from that unit must be ranged for the attacking weapon, within the maximum distance in inches from the range listed from the weapons making the attack. So to clarify, let's see. You can see here it's stated range and how long the weapons can attack. And it will be different from every war scroll you have. So for the purpose of determining visibility, an attacking model can see through other models in its units. So you can see it past your own dudes. If a model has more than one attack, you can split them between potential target units as you wish. If a model splits its attacks between 2 or more enemy units, resolve all the attacks against one unit before moving into the next one. Making attacks. Attack can be made one at a time, or in some cases you can roll the dice for attacks together, and the following attack sequences is used to make attacks one at a time. 1. Hit and roll. Roll a dice. If the roll equals or beats the attacking weapon's to hit characteristics, then it scores a hit and you must make a wound roll. If not, the attack fails and the attack sequence ends. So let's pop back here. So you can see to hit I have to get 3 or more on this, and then you have to have 3 or more to wound, and it's in this instant the rend is -1 to the save on the enemy, and then you see the damage is usually 1, but here it is D3, just to try to clarify. 2. Wound rolled. Roll a dice. The roll equals or beats the attacking weapons to wound characteristic. Then it causes damage and the opposing player must make a save roll. If not, the attack fails and the attack sequence ends. 3. Save roll. The opposing player rolls a dice, modifying the roll to the attacking weapon's rend characteristic. For example, if a weapon have -1 rend characteristic, then 1 is subtracted from the save roll. If the result equals or beats the save characteristics of the model in the target unit, the wound is saved and the attack sequence ends. If not, the attack is successful and you must determine damage on the target unit. Inflicting damage. After all the attacks made by unit have been carried out, the player commanding the target unit allocates any wounds that are inflicted to medals from the unit as they see fit. The models do not have to be within range or visibility to an attacking unit. When inflicting damage, if you allocate a wound to a model, you must keep allocating wounds to that model until it's slain, or no more wounds remain to be allocated. Once the number of wounds is suffered by models during the battle equals the wound characteristics, the model is slain. Place the slain model on one side. It is removed from play. Some war scrolls include abilities that allow wounds to be healed. A healed wound no longer has any effect. You can't heal wounds on a model that is being slain. Mortal wounds. Some attacks inflict mortal wounds. Do not make hit, wounds or save rolls for a mortal wound. Just allocate the wounds to a model from the target units that is described above. Cover. If all models in a unit is within or on a terrain feature, you can add 1 to all save rolls for that unit to represent the cover they receive from the terrain. This modifier does not apply to the combat phase if the unit you are making saves from is made from charge move in the same turn. Wizard. The realms are saturated with magic. a seething source of power for those with the wit to wield it. Some models are noted as being a wizard on their war scroll. You can use a wizard to cast spells on your hero face, and can also use them to unbind spells on your opponent's hero face. The number of spells a wizard can attempt to cast or unbind each turn is detained on the war scroll. Casting spells. All wizards can use the spells described below, as well as any spells listed in their war scroll. A wizard can only attempt to cast each spell once per turn. To cast a spell, roll 2 dice. If the total is equal or greater to the casting value of the spell is successfully cast. If a spell is cast, the opposing player can choose any one of the wizard that is within 18 inches of the caster, and that can see them and attempt to unbind the spell before its effects are applied. To unbind a spell, roll 2 dice. If the roll beats the roll used to cast the spell, then the spell's effects are negated. Only one attempt can be made to unbind a spell. So here is the 2 spells that every wizard have. Arcane Bolt. Arcane Bolt has a casting value of 5. If successfully cast, pick an enemy unit within 18 inches of the caster and which is visible to them. The unit you pick suffers D3 mortal wounds. Mystic Shield. Mystic Shield has a casting value of 6. If successfully cast, pick a caster or a friendly unit within 18 inches of the caster and which is visible to them. You can add 1 to all save rolls for the unit you pick until the start of your next hero phase. And last but not least, the most important rule. In a game as detailed and wide-ranging as Warhammer Age of Sigmar, there may be times when you are not sure exactly how to resolve the situation and has come up during the play. When this has happened, have a quick chat with your opponent and apply the solution that makes the most sense to you both, or seems the most fun. If no single solution presents itself, both of you should roll a dice, and whoever rolls higher get to choose what happens. Then you can get on with the fighting. Alright, so that's the rules. And now a little wrap up. Alright, you survived. You have listened to everything to now. Good on you. Hope you had some good beverage and some ideas from this reading. It's something different. It's not Warhammer 8th edition, that's for sure. But 8th edition was brand new to 7th edition. You know, it was a new game, and this is a new game. And been playing War Machine and Hordes and other games, and I feel like they have put in the best of Malifaux and other games as well. I think this is really good, and it all depends, of course, on how they're going to get out these war scrolls and the new units and everything. But I'm really stoked. They have made a good template to put a good foundation to put their castle on. It's so I really like it, and it's totally a new way of playing with our miniatures. And for me, I'm really excited. I think the questing nights I have been sending out to other YouTubers they are so cool. I'm really looking forward to play with my questing nights. He's totally being a questing knight. So yeah, I can't wait to get games in. If you have played games, link below to your battle reports, or comment or whatever, or just feel free to talk about how you feel about the rules and everything, and I will try to have an intelligent talk with you or something. Good luck with that, but yeah. Anyways, link below if you want to have a go. It's free, so why not? If you have some miniatures laying around, put them together and play. From what I understand, you need to have a general characteristic must be of you must have a dude with a command ability. That is what I understand, and beyond that you can have whatever you want. I'm not sure if you can blend armies like Empire and Britannia, but they both are order and they both have free people in their keywords. So it led me to believe that they can, because there are miniatures in both Britannia and in Empire that mentions free people, not Empire or Britannia. So it spikes my interest. So I really like this, and my only worry is that they put up so much new cool stuff with War Scrolls that everything you got is obsolete and you have to buy the new thing. That's of course a good market strategy, so I can't blame them for that, to want to make money on this really cool adventure of Warhammer. So with that, thank you for watching, and happy gaming. Play. Go and play. Don't talk. Go play. God damn it. Find a mate or girl or whatever alien and go play. Alright.